Welcome to episode 2 of EL-MARCOS-SABE podcast. Today, gonna be my first solo run. Just trying to, keep this going. I want to keep getting episodes out there, keeping you guys posted, keeping you guys interested. Hopefully, the stuff I talk about, can relate to some of you. Obviously, the other day we talked about, the Lakers Nuggets game and kind of want to recap that, but maybe later on in the podcast. Not going to necessarily be as long as the first one. I think the first one was just more trying to get the nerves out of the way, but definitely will be hopefully an interesting one for all of you. Today, actually, what I really want to talk about is the new bill that was passed in Florida, the new immigration law or act, I should say. I've just been seeing a lot of videos, about the farms, anywhere where all the vegetables and stuff are, and the construction sites and stuff that's going on, and it's just been crazy. I mean, I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? When these immigrants come here, whether they're Mexican, whether they're Cuban, whether they're what I've recently seen in Colorado is the Colombians. All these people come out here to do is work, and they come out here and they grind, and all they're doing is for their family. I mean, it's just crazy to me, that they have to fight so hard to get here and then still get here. And then now there's this law in Florida that hopefully it doesn't get to other states, because to be honest, it's just not, I don't know, it's not comfortable, and it sucks for the families that are out there, that let's say me, let's just say if I was in Florida, and I'm driving my uncle who, let's say doesn't have papers or something, and I get pulled over, and, they check him and see if he has any type of, identification on him. Just because you got pulled over, all of a sudden, everything that he did or she did, whatever, to get here, now all of a sudden they're getting deported just because of a normal traffic stop, and it sucks because, like I said, they go through so much to get here. I hear stories. I talk to, some people sometimes and hear stories about how, some of these guys go weeks, maybe a week or more, without eating just to try to get out here. I mean, the struggle for them to get here, even this is from a Mexican standpoint, of course, because obviously, I haven't talked to many people from other countries, but this is just based on people that I've talked to from Mexico, of how hard it is to get here. I mean, the fact that they got to leave their families, the fact that they got to get here and, settle in, pretty much literally start from the bottom with nothing. And then, unless they have family here that's going to help them, which which of course, hopefully most of them do. But I'm saying, as far as the ones that started, before all this, before, the foundation was built here, it's just, there's just so much that they got to go through. And then now, on top of this, these kind of laws being passed, it just sucks. There's people, how can I say this? When COVID happened, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not comparing this to that, but with the truck drivers, people, until COVID hit, people realized how important truck drivers were. You know what I'm saying? How much they transported stuff to stores, kept us, pretty much fed, kept everything in stock for us to be able to go buy and support our families. Which, by the way, I don't even hear about, thank the drivers anymore. Because again, once you don't need something, or once you don't need somebody, or feel you don't need somebody or something, you take it for granted. Right now, the drivers are still doing the same thing they did during COVID, before COVID. Nobody cares. And it sucks because, you know what? They do still do the same job. They still provide pretty much everything that's stocked up at the stores because of them. But we take it for granted, and it's just, I guess it's human nature, which, kind of sucks. But my thing is, I said, I haven't heard enough talk about this act in Florida. And I feel like people should be more aware of it, because if for some reason, hopefully, people realize that it's stupid that they even passed that bill. And this is the reason why. You take away people, I hear the criticism, or I guess the dumb saying, what they say is, that Mexicans come here and take the jobs, or not just Mexicans, let's just say immigrants in general. They come here and take jobs and this and that, but in reality, they take jobs that people don't want. You know what I'm saying? So, if immigrants aren't here, who's doing the landscaping? You know what I'm saying? Who's cutting all the crops, or, doing all that in the lands and the land fields, and, you know what I'm saying? Who's building the houses? Who's doing all this? We're they're doing jobs, at like low, like minimum wage, or sometimes even less than that, you know, and they're busting their ass every day working, you know, 12, 14 hours a day. I mean, if they could, they probably work all freaking day. They probably would work 24 hours a day if they had that much energy, if they wouldn't get tired. Like these dudes, they work their ass off. And I'm talking about like every immigrant, like even when it comes to even like African people that come here from other countries, these guys will work all day long, and they you know, they do it for their families, and it's just not fair. You know, they already suffer enough. I mean, you got to realize, maybe they won't talk about it, but I mean, they're leaving their families in Mexico, one, you know what I'm saying, the travel to get here. Not just that, but I mean, I'm sure there's depression in there, you know what I'm saying? They miss their families. There's a lot of them here that, you know, they can't go back to Mexico, and you know, you could hear it when they talk to you, when they tell their stories, you know, like there's people here that have been here for years, you know, and it sucks because they're here supporting their families, but they're like, people don't understand, like they're losing people out there that they haven't seen in years. Like the next time they go back, they might not be able to see their grandparents, they might not be able to see their mom and dad, you know, and it's, people don't understand that aspect of how things are, you know, for them. I mean, emotionally it's draining for them, you know what I'm saying? Like they come here with the dream of, you know, hopefully I make enough money to go back one day and, you know, everything's fine. But the thing is, like, the sacrifice, like you sacrifice all these years, you go back, people have gotten older, you know what I'm saying? Like some people aren't even there anymore, they're gone, you know, and yeah, like they get phone calls of people passing away, and it's just like, they can't go back, you know, they can't go to the funeral, they can't go see someone that's sick, they can't do any of that, and it's really sad. And then especially, you know, in like these ages where they want to keep coming out with laws that don't, like, why, like, what? I get it, there's bad people in the world, but you can't say everybody's bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to put this bill, you know, of this immigration act, but why haven't we done anything about these like school shootings, man? Like, and in reality, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna make this a race thing. I don't want to make it a race thing, but the majority of these school shootings are white people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying all of them, but you know, the majority is, and we don't talk about enough, like how to stop that. You know, we worry about things that, like, does it matter? I mean, if immigrants come in here to do something bad, of course it matters, but most of the time they're just coming here trying to get their work done, or, you know, get a job and support their families, and that's it. You know, they're not trying to come in here and, you know, destroy something out here. They're trying to build something for their families out there, you know, and one day, you know, hopefully they're settled in and they're, you know, relaxing and chilling out there. But I don't know, man. I just, like I said, not enough people talking about it. There was I think a representative for like the governor of Florida said that they're trying to protect their resources, their communities, and their families. And but like, first of all, your communities aren't going to be built with this law. Like the community's not even going to be built. These communities, they're not going to even get done because you implemented this law where companies can't hire someone that's illegal now, and it's like most of those jobs people that people take on, or that immigrants take on, are those construction jobs, you know. And now companies are going to lose money. There's going to be communities that aren't built. And then as far as resources like vegetables, fruits, and all that in the land and the crops, like, now what? Now they're gonna go bad because now you don't have those workers. You know, you don't pay them enough to begin with, and they're doing the job still, and they're working their ass off, and now you just did this to them. Like, I don't know. It sucks, you know. And that comment it's just stupid to me. Like, why? What do you mean protect your communities, your resources and your families? Like, these guys aren't here to, you know, mess with your families. They're here to work, they're here to grind, and they're here to support their families. And you just made it even harder for them. But I mean, I just hope people open their eyes, because hopefully this is not something that other states start doing. And hopefully, as bad as I've seen the videos of what's going on in Florida, hopefully that alone, you know, makes people in other states be like, oh no, we can't do that. Or companies, even big companies, construction companies, you know what I'm saying, or like big produce companies or anything like that they realize, like, you know what, like, these guys are working hard, and, you know, they're our business. You know, they really are. They are the business. I mean, I've talked like to people here, like I said, there's a lot of Colombians here in Colorado now. I mean, that's like the new, I guess they're the newest migrants here, like way more of them like there was of Mexicans. But these Colombians, like they live probably like two, three families in a house right now, just trying to make it here too, and they're so united. They're just trying to come here and work, and they'll work a lot. They'll work hour after hour after hour, and to me, it's been it's just a shame that all this is happening right now with this stuff in Florida. Um, it sucks, and again, like immigrants go through enough already, and just laws like stupid laws like this, just you know, I just feel like it's a waste of time. There's more things in this country that should be taken care of rather than trying to make a life harder for an immigrant. And I don't know, man. It sucks, and it's a sad situation for someone that you can't even really do anything anymore. You're pretty much stuck. You either, I mean, a lot of people are moving out of Florida, which is, I mean, duh, like why would you stay there? You can't do anything. You could get pulled over for anything pretty much, and by just for not having your seatbelt on, you just two of your family members just got deported or something, and then you got a $5,000 fine for having them in the car. And now, if you get caught twice with somebody in your car or something, I think it's like you get jail time now. It's like, at this point, it's ridiculous. Like everything that they're doing is just ridiculous, and I just feel like, I don't know. I mean, when does it stop? I mean, I heard it best the other day. A news reporter was saying, because they're talking about how in Texas there's a lot of immigrants too, and it's true what he said. Like in reality, when they go to Texas, when they go to even Arizona or California, they're technically just going home. They're going home. It used to be Mexico. I'm saying? Technically, it is still like it's their home. Once upon a time, those states were Mexico, and that's why you have the cities named how they are. You got Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, all that stuff. It's they're all Mexican named cities. And I don't know, man. It just sucks. So much that goes against these immigrants that come from Mexico, like again Cuba, Colombia, anywhere anywhere in the Latin America area, and they're some of the hardest workers. Not just that. Like I said, African people too. I've seen them. They work hard too, man. Like they come out here and they work hard too, and they'll take any job. And that's the thing. They take any job. They don't care what job it is. They'll take it. They don't care how much you're paying them. They're gonna take it, and they're gonna do what they can to support their families. And I don't know, man. It's just so much, like I said, so much that's wrong with the country, and they worry about stuff like immigrants. That is it an issue? It's only an issue if they're coming here, and if it's like a big thing where they're coming in, all of a sudden we got drugs all over the country, which drugs were already here. You know what I'm saying? Or smuggling is crazy, or kidnapping is out of this world right now. But I mean, we would hear about it, right? I mean, you would hope to hear about it, but I don't know. Like I said, there's still school shootings. You know what I'm saying? That nobody does anything about. You know what I'm saying? There's still, for me, there's still people in prisons that are alive, like after raping somebody, like multiple children. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. There's so many things that I look into. I really don't want to get into like the political part of all that, but I mean, this whole Immigration Act thing is just, I don't know. It's just dumb that it just got even harder for these Latin Americans, and hopefully it backfires, and hopefully it doesn't go to any other states, and people realize that we need it. Have you not seen a day without a Mexican? Like it's not a good thing. You need these immigrants to pretty much keep these big companies going, especially construction. And for me, again, like talking to people every day about their stories, they go through a lot. And all the sacrifices. Hopefully, at the end of the road, it just all pays off. And eventually they could return home and be comfortable and live their life. But While they're here, just know they're going through so much more than you possibly can be going through right now. So just keep that in mind. As as you see everything happening, hopefully, someone speaks up, and hopefully, eventually, that law doesn't, go get too far. I mean, it did pass, but I don't know. I mean, hopefully, again, other states don't see that it didn't work in Florida, which I almost 100% guarantee it won't work in Florida. Like, these companies are eventually going to be like, oh man, like, we're not making any money, jobs aren't getting done. We don't. Again, they don't take the jobs. They're not taking nobody's jobs. They take the jobs that other Americans don't want, and they don't bitch and complain about it. They take the job and they do it, and all they care about is supporting their family and doing what they came to this country to do, and that's work hard and provide for them out there. And eventually their goal is to be home anyway. So as much as everything they want to do to kick them out, I mean, trust me, when the time's right, when they have everything they need, trust me, they'll return home. But I just think my thing is stop pushing them, stop trying to push them out, or stop trying to find ways to get them out of here. It's just, they already deal with enough, Whew. Well, anyways, that was the biggest thing, that it's just been on my mind all day, I just don't get why why that's not being talked about enough, and I know it's just one state, but it's just, one state can start it for everybody else, and it's just not, it's not right, it almost makes you feel like, something bigger, is in the works, because they already passed it in Florida, and that's a big state, that's a big state for Cubans and, especially, Cubans specifically, and, it's just making it harder, and hopefully the rest of the United States doesn't go on board with that. Anyways, one thing I did want to bring up today too is talk to people, man. Hear the stories, from these people that come from Mexico or other countries. Hear the stories of what they had to go through to get here, man. It sucks, what I'm saying? Like, it sucks to have to live watching your back all the time, or making sure you know where you're at, or like, even if you go to another state, certain states that you don't want to drive in because immigration acts might be a little higher than other states, I guess you want to say. But yeah, man, just talk to them. The thing about them is they won't. I've noticed that they really won't express too much or show too much emotion about it, but it's not something they don't like talking about. They do like talking about it, like helping us understand what they're going through and helping us understand like their situation, because trust me, if they rather be home than here, but this is where they can make their dream happen out there, and that's what we just need to understand as people, they're just working like us, they're trying to make their dream come true like us, and it's just a little bit harder than it is for us here. And we take it for granted, So anyways, I'm sure you guys seen game 1 of the Lakers and the Nuggets. It was a tough one as a Laker fan. It just started off way too late. I think the fourth quarter was was encouraging for us coming into game 2. But again, we just started way too late, and the Nuggets were just hot to start that game, man. They would not miss a shot. Jokic, he did his thing again. Like I said before the last podcast, when I was talking to Jake, is you either gotta let Jokic shoot or you gotta let him pass the ball, but you can't let him do both, because if you let him do both, you're gonna lose the game. So I hope tonight to make adjustments, to make the change, and they go in there and let him score. I don't care if he scores 50, 60 points. Let him. As long as he's not getting everybody else hot, I don't care. But we cannot let them do that again. We can't let him go get his assists and his points. Just let him get his points or let him get his assists, but not both. Tonight, I think, is where we go 1-1. We're going back to LA 1-1. I almost want to guarantee the Lakers come out with a victory today, because I just feel like they're going to win tonight. They're going to win tonight. They're going to come out with some energy. They're going to come in and attack Denver and, just punch them in the mouth first and go with it. Again, Lakers in 6. I already said that before. I think they're just, like I said, they're gonna get it going tonight. LeBron, that was his fill out game. He's gonna come in. He's gonna do his job. I think AD, he's gonna put in work again. Nobody could guard AD, and AD needs to realize that nobody on Denver could guard him. Jokic is not an elite defender. He's a good defender, but he's not elite, and he should be able to eat all day long. Hopefully Austin Reeves, gets his 20 points again and just keep it going. But I got Lakers winning tonight, going 1-1. And just so you guys know, again, this was my first podcast by myself. It's not going to be as long as the first one. It's just something, that was on my mind that I just really wanted to talk about, especially with that Immigration Act. And, obviously giving you guys an update that I was going to come back and talk about the Laker game. I'm not hiding. We lost, 132 to 126. It's fine. It's only game 1. We're going to win tonight. We're going to come back. We're going to tie the series 1-1, go back to LA, and everything's going to be in our hands. And you know what? Again, and I'm going to keep saying it, Lakers in 6, baby. Thank you for joining the podcast today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Try to keep it a little interesting, try to make it a little faster. I felt like the last one just took way too long to get into what we wanted to talk about. And I'm trying to learn that aspect of it, and I will learn it, and I will get better at it. Again, we will have guests coming in soon. And then Jake will be back with me here hopefully next week. He just has some stuff to do, but definitely let me know what you guys would like me to talk about. Again, anything. I'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about. If you guys have certain people that want to be on here, let me know. One more thing. Let me grab my phone real quick because I actually do want to show you guys. If you guys are on Instagram, make sure you guys follow my cousin, her little candy business with chamoy. Hit her up. How about small businesses? I'm all about small businesses. If there's any other small businesses out there, that want me to promote them on here in Denver, Colorado, I will. Hey, whether it's 200 views or 2,000 views, it's still other people. It's still people watching. It's still people that can hit you up, and those maybe out of the 200. 20 or 30 call you, and hey, that's promoting your business. Your business is going to go up. Just hit me up. Let me know. I do not mind promoting small businesses. I'm all about small businesses. I will help out anybody, of course. And again, thank you very much for joining episode 2 of El-MARCOS-SABE podcast. And I will see you next week.